Welcome to Drummers Musicians. I'm your host Luke, and today we have something special, our first ever double guest episode. I'm joined by Lauren and Sheridan Harvey, the pop rock sister duo that is Lash 78. Lash 78 is known for their powerhouse vocals and infectious energy, blending influences from rock and pop, from Avril Lavigne to AC/DC. They've been writing, recording and collaborating across Australia, Europe and the US, and they're gearing up for a huge 2025 and 2026 with new music on the way and the excitement of getting back on stage for live shows. Before we hit record, Lauren and Sheridan played me some of their new demo tracks, including Heartbreak Lane, a massive pop rock anthem with huge vocal harmonies and killer drum grooves. In this episode, we chat about their creative process, the challenges of being independent artists in today's industry, and what it's like working with your sibling. We also discuss the impact of viral moments, growing up with music, and the story behind Lash 78. This was such a high energy, fun, and insightful conversation. I hope you enjoy. Well, the coolest thing is that this is episode 78.
Oh my God,
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really?
Just by chance. I even had another person that was meant to come yesterday and we got a scheduling conflict and moved it. And then I checked the number this morning and I was like, all right, Lash 78. What episode are we up to? We're up to episode 78.
You would have no idea how often that happens to us.
Really?
A 78 always comes up, whether it's the table that we're dining at or, yeah, it's super fun.
And we're always unsure whether we should drop the number too.
Just to Lash.
So,
Ooh.
yeah. So
but
then,
we kind of can't.
Yeah, there's a bit of a mix up.
Because there was a band from Western Australia called Lash. So,
okay.
yeah, hands are a little bit tied.
In
They
the
were
same
from,
style?
from the 90s.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think they play anymore.
okay.
They had
but
one song that was in Freaky Friday.
I think they still get quite a lot of royalties for it. And I
Yeah.
think from a legal perspective, I think that we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
which is
good to
very
have some
sad.
separation.
But also, we're fans of them. Good,
you never know.
good
One
music
day,
and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think the only way that would happen is if a label
got involved.
joined
and
and
then
they handled all the money and lawyer stuff.
We had another artist on, Lillian Elbazi, who started an Australian band called Great Falls, and there was an American band also called Great Falls. But then they ended up doing a collab, and she toured US and Europe with them
my
because they were this big Seattle
That's
noise
cool.
band.
that is so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, well, there's actually quite a lot of artists popping up with the Lash name. There's Lashes as well. I think she's from Ballarat or Bendigo. I always get the two mixed up. And then there's actually someone else I think called Lashes. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Really?
But yeah, lots of Lashes. Yeah.
Oh, it's on trend.
Yeah.
We had to do it though because it's an acronym for our names.
Yeah.
So
So Lauren and Sheridan Harvey.
Well, welcome.
And then when we first started, we were 7 and 8 years old. So that's why we added the 7 and 8 on the end. Or you could take it now that we were born 1997, 1998. So that's kind of cool too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was you look way too young to be born in
oh
1978.
yeah, we've been asked that.
Been
Yeah.
told so you guys must be born. This is do your math.
I freaking hope I don't look like I was born in 1978. Fuck.
So where did the idea to combine the names and the years come from?
Yeah, so we were 7 and 8 at the time, and we had been put in singing and dancing lessons and all of the above for entertainment because our parents were a little bit involved in the music industry. So we just always had music around the house. So
We were going to Tamworth pretty much.
we were
that's the
going to
story.
Tamworth.
Oh, cool.
And so mum and dad are I kind of need a name. It can't just be Lauren and Sheridan Harvey. And then I'm sure we pitched a lot of different ideas at the time, and ours would have been terrible at 7 and 8. But mum and dad, they landed on Lash just for an acronym for our name. And then, the 7 and 8 got added on the end because of the other band.
Oh, right. Were
Yeah.
you going up to perform
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Tamworth?
We were doing the busking comp.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
How old were you at this time?
7 and 8. So we were that,
literally?
young. Literally, yeah.
Yeah, we were just about to go.
And it was amazing.
Wow.
We had so many opportunities come from going up to Tamworth.
That first year we stayed at a hotel. It was hilarious because it was I don't know exactly what Tamworth hotels are like, but we were staying at a caravan park, and for some reason it was decided that we were going to go and stay one night at a really nice swanky hotel.
Probably because of the weather.
Also, probably because our dad is a very smart, sometimes calculated man, and he knew that this hotel was expensive and had all of the country music stars staying at it. So Dad probably was like,
nice.
so Dad went straight into the reception area and we're like, my daughters are singers. Can we set up here tonight for them to sing?
Oh, in the hotel?
In the hotel.
lobby.
Robbie. More, yeah, anyway.
Come on. She started already.
And then we played to the bar staff. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we finished and wrapped up, we were walking outside and there was Stephen White, Colin Buchanan and
Lee
Kernaghan.
Wow.
And so my dad's like, quick, girls. And then he's like, these are my daughters, they're singers. And Stephen White was like, well, can you sing me something? And so we sang. And then Lee was like, right, Bicentennial Park, this date, you're going to open my show to, was it how many thousand
10,000
people?
or something like that.
10, 20,000. We're not sure. You know what it's like when you're a kid and you look out to the crowd, you think it's like 100,000.
Yeah. People for as far as you can see.
Yeah.
That's
I think
so cool.
Bicentennial came later. I think the first thing we did was open up at Costa Hall in Geelong.
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
For him. And then the next year we did Bicentennial Park. We had a guitarist come up with us. And
his name was Robbie. So when I
that's why
said
she's thinking
Lobby and Robbie.
and then from there we also were invited to do the Spirit of the Bush because that was the drought season.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in front of, that was like
That was a lot of
15 to
people.
20,000 people.
Wow.
And we didn't have a care in the world.
Yeah, did it feel just like, oh, this is cool?
We
Because
were
you're so
wrapped.
young?
We weren't nervous
I
at all.
remember we did an
Wow.
interview for a newspaper and they're like, what do you do to like make yourself be calm? And I said, I just imagine everyone as apples and oranges. I reckon I was taking the piss.
Yeah, I
like
think you
definitely
were.
taking the piss. Because you know how they say like, oh, just imagine everyone naked and then you're fine. Like, I don't believe I did that. I think I just believe that we had the confidence and like it always made it so much easier because Lauren and I were together. We're sisters. We have that family around us who keep us like grounded and
I think too,
comfortable.
when you're a child, you don't care as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we had that as well.
What music were you singing? Like, were you singing country covers back then?
This
The
is funniest
Veronicas,
part.
Kelly Clarkson, a bit of Casey Chambers.
I was going to
threw
say,
in
but
Casey
don't worry,
Chambers.
we put in one country song.
Yeah. But
And we
people-
wore cowboy hats.
People
and cowboy-
loved
Oh,
it.
wow.
We were like, I remember like hearing people like in the bathrooms talking about us and being like, have you seen those little
Wow.
girls? Like they're
Yeah.
so small and they're so talented. And we're like going,
It was a gimmick, but like, goddamn, we used
Like,
to busk and we used to.
I also want to know if people were joking because I've heard back what we sounded like. back
no way.
then.
I think the thing is like, what
we were kids.
think though, like, because we don't really talk a lot about this, like, because we've been going for so long, like, we don't reflect back on this. As an adult now, how many of your friends do you know that have the confidence that those two little girls had?
Yeah.
Even now as adults, we don't have that confidence that they
No.
had.
God, no.
The industry has torn us down. No, I'm joking. I'm only kidding. We still love what we do, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just like thinking.
It is wild.
I don't know a lot of that. I think that's the part that made us better than what we probably were at the time.
But I
was-
think too, for us, we've always had a really big backing with our family. We come from a big family.
so. We would be busking, and our little sister would be sitting just conveniently because it was close, like on a milk crate.
Yep,
Which
with the
is hilarious.
CDs.
With the CDs, selling them.
The brothers would be there too. Like we've got two
trying to
brothers
get people
as
to
well.
sign up to a mailing list. Like it was like we were a
Wow.
machine.
Yeah.
Like we were.
And then when we
yeah.
weren't looking, our brothers and sister would grab the money and go buy Slurpees and Boost juices
Yeah.
and all that because they're like, we've been sitting out in 30-degree heat.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
eventually they would get up on the mic too.
Yeah, and they ended up
Yeah.
starting singing as
So
well.
all of us,
Oh, wow, everybody.
musically inclined.
Our little
Wow.
sister does it more than the boys. Like they don't really do much. Our brother, one of our brothers, he'll pull out a guitar at a party. He's one of those blokes.
He does the Wonderwall trick.
Oh,
He does it as a piss take, but he can do it, so
Yeah.
it's good fun. And then our other brother, Nate, he's really talented with musical theatre, so he
oh, cool.
dabbles in it occasionally. He hasn't done it for a while, but yeah, he's really good with that.
So what was it that like made you able to keep it? Because lots of people like, you know, might do something like this as a kids, but then, you know, it's something different to
I
actually
have
be
an
able to
answer.
maintain it.
You have an answer.
I actually
Okay, go.
have an answer. Every time we've gone to throw in the towel, something incredible has come up, and it's like almost as if the universe is saying, you have to do this. Like,
Wow.
you know, we went through a stage where, and I'm talking recently, where we just kind of fell in love with what we were doing. We weren't creative. We we didn't really have a
Did you
great
mean
relationship.
fell out of love or fell in love?
Fell out of love
Fell
with
out of
what we
love.
were doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Yeah.
Can we refresh?
No, keep it going.
No, we fell out of love with what we were doing, and we were in the studio and we were kind of like, oh, we're not sure, let's just do it. Let's see what we can do. We've had a couple of songs that we've had for a while. Let's just record them. And once we recorded one of them, not one of them, the song, but one of the songs that we had, we sent it over to our contacts in the US, and we were like, here.
We hadn't, by the way, spoken to them for many years. There's like a whole backstory with that.
Yeah.
When we were younger, we were discovered busking while Kanye West was down for the big day out. Big day out? Yeah. And his people were going out for dinner, and they just they came and watched us busk. They followed our sound down the street. And so we were taken to America. It was this amazing, beautiful thing. And then, it ended up all falling through. We had I think it was like a mansion on the Hollywood Hills, not purchased for us, but leased for us. Producers flown out from all around America. It was a big thing. Back then,
One from Germany.
How old were we?
I think we were 14 and 15.
and we were
Wow.
we've never had a big ego, but you do have a little bit of that kind of
I think it was just teenagers.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna be so big, and we've got such a good family. We're really good musicians. Now we listen back to it and ha 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 ha, stupid girls. And yeah, so
So what, that ended with an EP or single or something?
No,
back
no,
in the
never.
US?
Nothing. We had all that time, and it was experimental with what they were trying to get us to do, and it was just not working.
we were literally on a Zoom call with Craig Kelman, who is the CEO, chairman of Atlantic Records, and it was 4 a.m. in the morning, and we were singing to him some of our original music, and he's like, I am in awe. I love this. We have the recordings and everything. So what I'm saying is pretty much on point. And he's like, I want to hear more music, and then we can get chatting about what we're going to do next.
And then the two main members of the team fell apart, and we had no music to send.
It wasn't that they fell apart. I think they just had differing opinions.
Yeah, which is that
Sure.
we fall
we
apart.
never sent any music, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
And
we
flown back to
disconnected.
Melbourne to
Yeah.
go back to
Well,
school.
we ended up
and
having
stuff, or-
to flee the country, not in a bad way. Our 3 months ran out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we tried to go across to Mexico, and then have margaritas. Well, we wasn't margaritas back then. We were kids. Tacos and some
in
type
Tijuana of all
in
places. It
Tijuana.
was so.
Entered back over the border, and the guy is like, hey, you've got 1 day to leave the country, because we thought we could renew our visa, we were told, by leaving the country. I think we could have done that if we were there for a week, but we were only there for a day.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't not even a night.
Not even a night.
Oh, it was crazy.
Oh,
that was
it's like a day trip.
it was a day
Okay.
trip to Tijuana, and it was in a small Audi car.
So yeah, we disconnected from them anyway. Not in a bad way. Just we weren't really probably good enough at the time. Again, the project kind of fell apart. So yeah, we many years later just sent them a track out of the blue and was like, "What do you think?"
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
they said, "Come over," and that was
Yeah.
that. We went
Oh,
over.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you're you're sort of saying you fell out of love, can I sneak back into how that story progressed to putting this new single sent back over to the US to start the relationship again?
So we decided that we wanted to do a writing challenge, just to kind of get creative again.
This
Essentially,
was during the lockdowns.
Yeah.
So we were trying to because we'd gone from years of gigging. Even in that circuit, we were I reckon we were so close to kind of breaking into, what would you say? It's not really big success, but I reckon we would have gotten some really wicked supports if we had have kept going. And then, that awful time happened, and so we stopped, and we ended up going and doing lives on Facebook at that time and Instagram. And then we're like, well, we've got 10 other hours in a day, what can we do? And so we decided, there's a quote from Ed Sheeran, and it's my favorite quote ever. Songwriting is like a rusty tap, and when you turn it on, you're only going to get rusty water, but the longer you leave it on, you'll get clear water. So we decided to set ourselves a songwriting challenge, 30 songs in 30 days. So we reached that milestone, and it just opened the floodgates of writing. We were writing, I think some days we were writing 2 to 3 songs. We were loving it.
Wow.
And then, just from there, we just opened up the program of Logic and started cracking.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So where did the idea for the like viral Instagram singing come from?
Well, we had always tried and dabbled in doing social media stuff. I feel like we were always, and this is where we were saying before, sometimes things happened that were really good, but sometimes also things happened that just felt like there was every obstacle that possibly could be put in front of us was put in front of us. So we were doing really well. We were posting online, and then Facebook were taking down all of our videos because it was breaching copyright. We had people from like record labels who were like sending us, I don't know what it was, a cease and desist. I don't know. I'm not into the legal side of things, but yeah, we were getting emails at 17, 18, 19-year-olds with that. So we just took all of our videos down, or just were cautious. We tried to film under 30 seconds or whatever. It was still happening. We were just pissed off, so we stopped doing it. And then when we were over in the States, the team were like, hey, you guys need to get on and get a heap of followers. I reckon you can get...
Oh, he said, I reckon you can get 20K by, a year's time or even less. And we're like, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about.
I love this person, by the way, but we literally did say, you are delusional.
Who gets that in that short amount of time?
And then we ended up with, I reckon, probably across all platforms, 130,000.
Yeah, within 6 months.
Sorry.
So, but yeah, it just literally came from them saying, just give it a go. And we were like, sure, we'll give it a go.
And of course, we did our own research. We were trying to figure out the viral side of things, how, and we never did videos based on trying to be viral, but we were tactical. I remember there's a section of TikTok that is viral sounds or viral videos, whatever it is. And so we would look at them and kind of see what was going on. And this one day we opened it up and there was a girl singing or lip syncing to Katy Perry Wide Awake, and Lauren and I are big Katy Perry fans, her Teenage Dream album and one
Revolutionary.
of the boys,
Yeah,
unbelievable. So yeah, we sang it in the car. It took us probably 5 minutes and we're like, that's the end of that, close the app.
It was actually one of the easiest ones we did too. We were just I think you can see from the video, I'm laid back in the car, leg up, I don't care. I was just relaxed.
Another thing that I think made that video really good too was that I was like, someone just walked behind our car, because they looked, and I was like, they definitely looked. Mm-hmm. And then Lauren's like, oh no, and then that was the Aussie thing, and
Yes.
all of the Americans
I don't even
came
say
on.
it like that too.
Oh no.
I don't even know how it happened.
So yeah, we'd done a bit of research. We knew that we needed to post more than one video a day. We knew that we needed to definitely post more than one a week. And I saw things from that Gary V guy who's talking about 5 pieces of content a day, and I was like, well, if we're gonna do more than one, it's only going to be 2.
Yeah, Gary V's not an artist. He just talks.
No, but I understand his concept of creation is really smart.
It is really smart.
So 2 a day for quite a lengthy period of time. And it was we work as well. We're disability workers. We're called peer mentors. But we ended up it was a full-time job on top of already working decent hours.
So how would you pick what to sing? Was it music that you liked, or do you have to because that's so much?
Because
in the beginning, yes, and it was also kind of a basis of what we were seeing on our For You page as well, or on our Reels page. But from there, we were starting to get a following and people were putting in requests. So on top of that, we'd also go live and people would put it in the comments in live saying, oh, can you please sing this?
And I think that helped us actually grow our following, because we were applying to those comments. It showed the apps that we were investing back into their people, and I think that that's why they pushed our content more too.
Yeah.
And we were going live as well, twice a week. And the app sometimes comes up with things like, hey, this video is trending, you should go live now. And it was 10 o'clock at night. Lauren would call me and be like, Sheridan, we just got this message. It was the first time we'd ever gotten it. We've only gotten it a few times. And she's like, I'm coming over, let's go live. So I'm in my PJs, jump out of my PJs, got my acoustic guitar ready, and we just went live for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we were pretty invested in the growth, because we knew what was coming out. And it's still not out, right? I hope, but how long until the episode would be out?
It's going to come out late next year.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
so it might
So will the EP be out by then?
yeah, it will be. Yeah,
Cool.
hope so.
yeah. Better be.
Awesome.
We knew what the sound was going to be, and we knew the vision, and I feel like that made things really. It wasn't easy. It was never easy, but it made it clearer for us, because you know how they always say if you work in the mines or something, set an end date because you have that vision and things like that. Well, for us, that vision was, we know how good this music is, so we need to work. Whereas otherwise, every other time it was just like, let's try and do well.
Yeah.
Boom, slump.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't work.
Wow.
And of course, we've had a lot of challenges throughout that time, especially in the last 6 months of this year. So people probably have noticed we haven't been posting as much, but for the time before, we had the drive there for sure, and it was great because more often than not, we were getting such nice comments and supportive people, and you know, we've always wanted to build a community and a family essentially.
Well, I think that's because that's the basis of our music. That's the only reason why we've been able to do what we do. I think, yeah, like our parents, even still up to this date, we're not doing a lot of gigs like at the moment. I think hopefully, definitely by the time that this comes out, we'll be gigging a lot. That's probably a bit of a goal that I'll set to listen
We're
back
putting
to
it out
this.
there.
Yeah, I hope
manifesting.
I hope that this weekend you can go and watch us play live somewhere around the world. But yeah, like it's a big reason that we do what we do is because of our family.
I mean, our family have let us take over more than half of our family home.
We have the whole garage. We have under the staircase. Like, it's great.
Yeah, you were saying you built a studio under like a vocal booth under the staircase for recording.
Yeah, full Harry Potter. Yeah, it's great. It's good fun. It's a squeeze to get in. So
oh my God. Like literally, like I reckon a kilo heavier on me and I am not in that room.
Because the foam makes it like stop.
Yeah.
We didn't think about it. We should have like maybe changed the door hinge so it opened
I said
outwards,
that.
but
no one listened to me. Everyone's like, no, it'll be fine. No, clearly not.
Well, mum and dad are footing the bill, so you have to have that conversation. I'm joking.
We'll make it up to them.
I wanted to ask about the Australian thing because that's how I found your video for the first time, was the like video that you posted. I think it was a Missy Higgins song.
Oh,
and you were like
us doing the Aussie accent.
Yes. Oh, we
That
put
got
on the
so many
American
people
thing.
Not so
pissed
Aussie
off.
accent.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't very. So like we've done. We started out doing singing lessons like back when we were like 6 and 7. I think would have been
really
our first.
young.
Yeah, really, really young. And our singing teacher would always be like, "Roll those R's, go for it, girls."
If you want to sing
American
pop,
accent.
if you want to sing rock, you got to sing with an American accent. If you want to be universal.
And I mean, you don't need a singing teacher to realise that so many Australian artists do that. And so yeah, like
It's not as bad now. We have, there's a big minority now, especially with like bands like Royal Otis that are having a lot of success overseas with, you know, they can't.
Chase Atlantic is very Aussie.
Yeah,
too,
they are very Aussie, and they have that Aussie accent. I think it was someone on TikTok that asked us for a song in our Aussie accents, and we were like, oh, we'll try. We can't. We said we can't promise that it will be good because we don't sing that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a question that we've gotten quite a lot of times, like, why don't you sing in an Australian accent? And have you heard us talk? It's not that pretty. Like, you know, Australian accents aren't that pretty. Like, I don't think they are. But I love them at the same time too. It's a love hate.
Yeah, so that video did get a little bit of hate because it like, we will admit it was not very Australian. It was
spots
it was pretty good, but it wasn't really good. And we
really
hold ourselves to a
hard.
pretty high standard. And then we redid the video. We did a part 2, which was cool too because it had that viral feel to it. It was like, let's sing this song in an Aussie accent. And then another thing that pissed people off was that it was Missy Higgins. And they're like, the intention of this song is because it's Australian. And we're like,
No shit.
It was the easiest thing for us to do because we could replicate or try to replicate Missy Higgins.
We're not going to sing a Paramore song in an Australian accent.
Got the business of misery.
Let's take it from the top.
She's got a body like an hourglass. Why do I sound a little bit like British? Yeah, so.
Wow. So what's it like? Like, I'm fascinated by this like duality of like the Australians making music here, but you keep going over to the US to like do stuff, and the current stuff you're working on is like send your tracks overseas.
We don't feel like we fit very well into the Australian music industry. We have always been told that we have a very American edge and sound.
Right.
Like we were just born in that, like really, like that time of the night, like 90s versus listening to our parents' rock albums. I don't even know any Australian artists besides Missy Higgins that we really would have listened to. Kylie Minogue, yes, but she probably sings with an American accent.
I think for a big one, the Veronicas, they sing with an American accent as well. It was that early 2000s music that really
Pink,
influenced
Avril
us.
Lavigne,
That
Paramore,
rock pop. Yeah, and that's, I think, where it comes from. Essentially, that's what we grew up listening to, singing to, and what we've ended up kind of writing as well.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for playing me 2 of the single demos.
I hope you liked it.
Yeah, it was really cool. And spot on to pop rock.
Sweet.
Like everything, all the elements and like.
You have no idea how long that has taken us to get to that level. We have had so many years of like trying to figure out how to portray what we feel and what we want to put out. So that's
We've
really
always
great
known
to
we
hear.
were pop rock, but I think
We haven't
our
been
writing,
able to get that essentially.
Yeah.
And I think we've had a lot of different influences, like back from the country, and then, you know, with our listening to rock pop and that being our favorite genre. And then I sang classical for a few years. I think it's all kind of just mixed and
we'd always say to
taken
people,
time.
they're like, oh, what's your genre? We'd be like, well, we're rock pop, but we can sing anything. And genuinely, we could really sing anything. But it's been really good to like kind of niche down because it feels really right. And even when we were doing our live stuff, like we'd have country-ish songs and we would rock them up. Like it didn't even matter. Like I think we always knew that was just where we sat.
Yeah,
just
sure.
songwriters wise, we can write anything as well.
And is this like it just most reflects you and the music you want to make in that genre?
It feels like we're paying homage to our childhood because we grew up listening to that stuff.
it's always made us happy.
Yeah, like when we were, God, how old were we? Like when we were going to the Paul gigs. Like
we were like
literally
11 and 12.
Yeah.
We fell asleep at a Wasp concert.
Yeah, because our uncle's in a band called The Paw and they toured the world with AC/DC.
Wow.
Like that's where my dad and mum got really into the music stuff. My dad went on to manage a band and things like that. Our dad.
Yeah, we used to like Hell Freezes Over from the Eagles was played every weekend in our house. My first ever favorite song was American Woman by Lenny Kravitz at like 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
So there's just massive
yeah.
influences, like, and that's why I say, like, if you come watch us play live, like, we definitely are rocky, but we also love the pop. So it's just like, how do we find?
We've wanted
like,
to
a
mix
good-
them and
yeah.
find a good middle ground for the both.
Because we've done some songs where we're like, ooh, this is really rock. This is really rock. And then like, yeah, working with the producer Ian, he has just completely encapsulated every single feeling, every single musical taste.
We
that
call
we've
him
ever
our
had.
musical soulmate because
Yeah.
he loves the same music that we do, and he is so talented. We can tell him something and Sheridan can talk in whatever language she talks in because we don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. And he can do it in like 3 seconds. Like it's unbelievable. Tap, 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 done.
It was so funny. We were working on, this is what I was telling you a little bit earlier. I was like, I have some stories for you. This is just one of them.
The yapper.
That we were working on this song and we'd worked on it for a couple of hours. Like towards the end, we've done the demos and now we're trying to get towards the end of production. And we did a great job like working on the verses and stuff. And then I listened through to it at the end and I was like, I just feel like the chorus just kind of drops. It needs something that moves it forward. And everyone's like, oh, okay, like have you got anything in mind? And I was like, yes, like a choo-choo train. And everyone's like laughed, like they burst out
I was like,
laughing.
you can't be serious.
And they're like, what do you mean? And Ian loves entertaining my quirks. He's like, I am interested. Tell me what you mean. And I was like, well, not a choo-choo train, not like a choo-choo. I mean like a and everyone's just in stitches. Lauren, of course, makes me feel like an idiot because that's her sibling duty. And yeah, so we ended up like putting it in, and after Lauren had to admit her wrongs because it sounded
I
bloody
never said
amazing.
it wasn't going to work. I'm just thinking, where the freak do you get, oh, let's put a choo-choo train in a song?
It wasn't a choo-choo train, it was a steam train. It was just us. I'm sorry,
You said
I
choo-choo.
messed it up. But
So what,
yeah.
they got like a sample of the
Yeah,
sound
we're
of the
on
train?
Splice, yeah.
Wow.
steam
Yeah.
train.
And when you know that it's there, you can hear it, but otherwise it just sounds like the track's moving forward. And that was my intention.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like such an awesome relationship that you guys have got with
It's amazing.
your
Yeah.
producer.
And we're working all over Zoom with him as well.
Right.
So
No lag. It's unbelievable. We didn't realize the capabilities of it until he was like, you can actually hear exactly what's coming out of my computer at the same time. So I'll share my screen and so on. Yeah, so on and so forth. It's like, whoa.
Oh, that must
Creepy.
be really interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like not in the same room, but basically are because it's all
pretty much.
live.
Yeah.
The way that we felt working with him, like back when we were, doing all that stuff in, what was it, 2020, 2023, I don't know, I can't remember the years, felt the exact same online, which was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like being in the same room with him was the exact same feeling we got when we were on Zoom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you manage the like sibling relationship aspect of this partnership?
Like if you asked us that when we
Probably
first
like
got-
3 years ago.
I think even a little bit longer than that, probably 5 years ago, we would say like, yeah, great.
So
It
good.
wasn't really that great. It wasn't great at all.
We were living together and working together and like riding
Same
together.
jobs, same friends, like, and we still have a lot of those mutual things, but we do have the space of not living under the same house.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
I think also too we've grown a lot as people. Like for me, I had a lot of health issues that I didn't know about, and I was like always grumpy and tired and sore and didn't know what was going on with my body. And obviously she was like, well, what the hell's going on? Like, you need to feel better. And I'm like, I don't know why, but this is, you know, this is what's going on. And obviously it disrupted workflow. And obviously when you are really passionate about something, you want things to move forward. And we were at a point where we were super stagnant. We were spending so much time together, and we weren't working on our relationship as sisters.
Yeah, Lauren ended up getting diagnosed with a gut health issue, and it basically, like, when you researched the symptoms of this, it was like fatigue and all those things. So Lauren was like
Pain.
almost barely getting out of bed some days, and I'd be like, well, we need to write a song or we need to record this, and she'd be like, I genuinely cannot get up, and I'd be so pissed off at her because, you know, if you feel like you're the only one driving the train, then yeah, that sometimes was.
And I don't blame her at all, because it would have been so difficult. I know how difficult it was for me to be dealing with it. I can't imagine someone else trying to pull me up from that and me being like, no, like, go away. And yeah, like it was a rough time. And obviously in this day and age with medicine, like you really have to push to get answers. And luckily for me, I was able to get answers due to my mum having her own health issues when she was younger. But otherwise I probably would have never known what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that obviously focusing on ourselves and on our relationship as sisters, going out, we went on a holiday together, and we had a really good time.
I think also like just one thing we have always done is picked up for each other when the other one was down. But I think we didn't apply that when it came to when we were probably feeling like not angry, but like if we were just having a day, like the expectation was still for them to show up. Whereas I think now we're a bit more lenient on like, hey, if you're not feeling 100% today, that's fine. Like, but what can we do to still move forward? I feel like the communication just got so much better over the last
100%.
few years. But like, look, it was never really bad. Like, I think if we had of that thing with Atlantic had have come through, I think Lauren and I our relationship probably wouldn't have existed after that. Like a lot of success really young, which is pretty intense to admit, but yeah, I just
think we would have still had a
been-
relationship. I think we just would have had probably a different relationship to what we have now. We have grown together, and I think that's really important, you know, with family members and with band members, because essentially your band members are your family. You know, if you don't grow together, you know, people get left behind and other people move forward, and you know, there gets that middle ground that's weird. So we were both able to move together, and
a big step
But I think
towards
for me,
that.
I'm really grateful that Shez took her time with me and gave me the room to grow, because I was definitely late to the party on a lot of things.
I was about to say a step towards the right direction was Lauren songwriting with me, because I like began songwriting with my mum, and then like would always encourage Lauren, but because I'd had a few years on her by that stage, she was like she was in the mindset that I was a lot better than her, so that she couldn't like come in a room and meet me there. And look, I'm not gonna lie, there was like probably times for the first like year and a half, 2 years, where she'd just say things and I'd be like, no, because like it didn't
shit.
fit. Okay, yeah, I probably said that shit a lot.
I think too, for me, like
Which wasn't very nice.
I
in
have
hindsight.
a very serious perfectionist side to me, and I hate failing. I hate not being good at anything. I think growing up, I was always told that I was naturally good at most things, and a lot of people who are told that then sit on their hands, and I did that. I'll be the first to put my hand up and say, yeah, I did that. So I think for me, it was just, obviously she got to a point where it was more encouraging for me to go into a room and her being like, okay, well, yeah, let's just start.
Yeah, I had to definitely like loosen up the reins a little bit and be nicer. Like that was where family interjection, is that right?
But now I'm better, so it's
was
okay.
really good because is that the right word? Interjection, like family were coming in ish. Like we always had to consult our family members during fights and stuff, and I feel like that made me like realize that I probably was being a bit of a bitch. Just a little bit.
A bit of a bitch. You're a huge bitch. Let's not beat around the bush.
Being like, imagine like someone coming into a room with you as a songwriter and you just being like, nah, that's shit. Like you would never say that to another co-writer ever. But that is also what makes what we have really special too, because we can just be like, hey, then no. And then we move on. Things that we push for are really worth pushing for. So that part's really awesome, is that we don't really take a lot of offense to what the other says. We just move on with it.
And if like, I think it's another good thing about being siblings with a band member is that if you have a disagreement one day, you walk in the next day and you're like besties again, and everyone's like whiplash going like, what? You guys were like at each other's throats yesterday, and we're like, yeah, but that was yesterday.
Mad Britney Spears. You're toxic.
Yeah. No, it's just a sibling thing, I think.
It is,
we're very
definitely
close as well, which I think makes everything more
heightened.
heightened.
The good thing is now when that happens, I can just be like, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, and I'll
so
be like,
go. But to be honest, like, you know, from this, I don't want people to think that we do have like a relationship that can go on the rocks, because it's definitely stronger than ever, and I would say that the two of us have the strongest relationship out of most people that I know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Ride or die.
Well, you've been through so much together. And like, I can't even imagine what it'd be like not understanding what's going on with your body when you're like, I just want to be able to function, nothing's working the way I want it to.
And it was like multiple things too that they found. And so it was like I had like health issues, gut health issues, I had reproductive health issues, and so it was a big time, and there was a lot of answers all at once.
Yeah.
So do you think now, like, Chez, you love to like chat more than Lauren, maybe a little bit? Like, are you leading things, I don't know, so like within the relationship of like, we're doing this together, but like, do you drive it more with terms of like, I don't know, like goal settings and practical things?
I think that we both definitely have our strengths. Doggy wants some chocolate chip cookies.
They are good. I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
I would definitely say that we both know our strengths, and my communication is definitely something that is strong. I love the admin side of it. Like, I'm very business minded.
Oh, cool.
And like, it's really hard because I'm also like really incredibly creative, and sometimes my business mindset gets in the way.
What do you mean by that?
Just like from a financial perspective, I suppose, like, you know, in the Australian music industry, there's statistics that come out and pretty much say that musicians don't earn a lot of money. And we grew up watching, you know, our uncle and things like that, and hearing stories about how they used to have to go to service stations on the way to gigs and like eat off people's plates and stuff. So that was like always something that was really scary for us. And that's why it was really good that we had a family who supported us. And I think for a long time, probably we avoided putting skin in the game because we had so much support, which I think actually was a hindrance to us. But yeah, I think just being cautious about money and things like that. I feel like you can't really fully always do both. Sometimes you got to let it go and just be like, the money's not worth it, like worth worrying about when the creative side makes you happy. Because like for us right now, you know, we have 100 and something thousand followers online, but we're making no money out of it. Like, and that we're putting a fuck ton of hours into
and because
this,
we don't have any music either, we're not
lot.
Getting streams, and so there's a lot of things that, you know, we have that amazing image, but we need to be able to back it up at the same time.
And like, obviously, again, like hopefully in a year's time that would be a different conversation, but you know, when you're only working a couple of days a week to try and make your ends meet, sometimes those things don't really they don't meet. And so that's been something that I guess like Lauren's really good at. Lauren's a lot more like, don't worry about it, like let's just go for the opportunity or whatever. So that's been really cool.
Yeah, great.
But I think, mutually, we both take on the roles that we're supposed to take on. Lauren's like great with the musical side of things. So she's kicking absolute ass right now with her guitar, and Lauren posts a lot of our content as well. So I prepare it. So like I put the captions on it and organize usually the videos, like what we're going to do and stuff. So yeah, we're just taking on roles. But cool. Definitely, I hope, again, like in 12 months time, we're going to be even more refined in what we do. And yeah.
I also want to say, like, we are so lucky that we have each other to have certain roles. I don't know how people do it on their own. Whether it be a musician or it be an influencer, I don't know how you guys post every day and create content and think of content and go to events and do
like
that
if you're
all
doing
by
that,
yourself.
we love you.
Yeah,
we respect you.
We respect
a lot.
so much.
Yeah, you're the LeBron.
literally, because we struggle with between the two of us.
Yeah.
And obviously, some days are really great, and some days are like, I'm going to throw my head through the wall because I don't want to do this. And luckily for me, I have someone to pick me up and be like,
let's pick you out of the wall.
Yeah,
I just have to pull her off the wall.
So what's the songwriting process like?
Yeah, so we pretty much just start writing. Like we will get a guitar riff or we'll have a beat sent from a producer. We'll listen to it. We'll feel if the vibe's right. If we've got, 20 tracks to listen to, we will listen and listen till we find the one that feels right. We press record on the iPhone because you bet your ass I will forget every single thing that I sing. Not a chance. I will remember anything. But when it comes out like gold. I swear to God, sometimes we don't even change lyrics from what comes out of our mouths. Like,
wow.
We're super, super lucky like that. Again, sometimes that can be a hindrance because a quick little cheeky edit is probably worth doing. But it means that we can pump the songs out too and then edit later if we want to.
It's so weird. There's never really been a set process for us.
No.
We kind of just go into it being like, this is kind of what we want to do. There's no expectation. Not every song you're going to write is good, and you might not ever write a really great song, but we're going to have fun. And I think that for me, like, I did not find songwriting fun for a long time. I thought because I thought I sucked at it, and I was like, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to use my brain and I hate being shit at things. So now it's just like no expectation. We go in, we have fun, we listen to each other's ideas, and we really consider. And it's just it literally is like a waterfall. It just flows and then it's done.
But typically we don't just we wouldn't start at a chorus or we wouldn't start at a bridge, even though that's how Lauren started out Heartbreak Lane, which was the first song that you listened to.
Yeah, awesome.
That was the first song I ever started on my own too. Sheridan was not in the room.
She called me and I was like, holy shit, you just did what? And then, it came back and listened to it and I was like, no,
I wrote the bridge. I wrote the bridge first.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
I was like bored. I had nothing to do. She was at work for longer. And I was like, oh, is this the day that I'm going to do something? And I was like, there was someone telling me to do it. Like something in there like going, you should really do this. And I was like, battling with my mind like, oh, I don't want it to suck, but if I don't do it, I'm never going to get any better.
Yeah, well, I encouraged you to start writing on your own because I felt like it was a good way for you to grow without the expectation that I would come in and change what she was doing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good thing because for many, many years I wrote on my own. And it was good because no one was there to say, no, don't do that. But then when I listened back to the song, I'd be like, oh, I don't know why I thought that rhyme that doesn't even rhyme with that doesn't.
The first time I ever did it's made the track. The whole thing that I did is on the track. There was no edits made to that bridge.
Wow.
I probably wrote it in about 10 minutes and she was coming home from work and I was like, you need to get here now. I think I have something. And I don't say that about much that I do, but I was like, I just knew that there was something special about this song. And this is Heartbreak Lane's like probably my favorite song that we've done. And I think too, like you can hear it that we have a lot of fun singing that song, and the process of that song is really fun. We've got all the recordings of writing it, and
I guess another part of our songwriting process is for a while anyway, we'd have friends going through breakups or going through the dating highs and lows, and we'd speak to them about it, and that ended up in quite a lot of our songs, like Over You, which we hope is going to be on the EP. That was written about a friend. We saw her after like COVID and
was
we
like
hadn't
in
seen her in
between
ages. And we were like, what's going on in your life? She's like, oh my God, I just had a breakup and it was like really bad. And we're like, no way, he seems so nice, blah, blah, blah.
She's like,
And
we need to
then-
go for coffee. This is a long story.
And so then we're like, well, should we go for coffee now?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we sat and we had coffee for how long?
we were there for like 3 hours.
It was so long. And yeah, we ended up writing Over You, and like the lyrics in it are spot on to her story.
To what happened
so
to her.
like
Wow.
yeah, the second verse, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the second verse, it says, it's getting late. You say we've driven too far. Let's sleep in the car. And
I said, don't think for a second I'm going to cave into the games that you play, but then your hands on my waist, my thoughts fade away.
so pretty much
and I forget about it
he-
for a little while.
He picked her up to have like the breakup talk, like after they'd already said that they were done. But obviously he had other intentions. So he drove her all the way down to Lawn.
Whoa.
And they had their chat, and she was like, okay, well, that's cool. I'm ready to go home now. And he goes, I'm not taking you home.
He's like, you can catch a bus home or you can sleep in my car.
But the buses were like done for the day
Yeah.
too. So he's like, you either sleep in my car or you find your own way
And then,
home.
of course, one thing led to another, and you're back right in the good parts of the relationship. So, you know,
carousel starts
yeah,
again.
the carousel started again. And because just when she was ready to let go of the relationship, just when she was almost over him, over you, that he kind of
came crawling back.
and was like, right, let's start this again. So
Wow.
yeah, that part's really cool, sitting there and listening to a story that you know that's happened and being able to articulate it in a way that is genuinely like almost word for word
True
to
to
our
the story.
conversation.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way of writing lyrics about about a song. How much of it is like your own stories versus like stories from other people and stuff on this EP?
There's only like one song on this that is for me, but it's called We Can Never Talk About It. So we can never talk about it, pretty much.
She literally can never talk about
I can
it.
literally
Fair.
never talk about it.
That's totally cool.
You kind of get the gist of the song, but
Yeah.
it's something that I will never talk about because we both agreed that we won't talk about it.
Except you've talked about it now in a song.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the name is not.
No,
yeah.
the
No, you sung
person's-
about it, so
the
it's
person is
different.
not
We
involved.
can never sing about it.
yeah, he didn't tell me I couldn't sing. But yeah, we've never really written for our own experiences.
Yeah, right.
We're really big on listening, and I think and it's not necessarily that we haven't been through a lot, because we have, but I think it's more on a music level that we've had so many big events happen in our lives, and I don't think that translates as well.
I don't
as
think we're ready
personal
to talk
experience.
about our music in a heartbreak sense. Like, it's all got to be positive vibes. You can't talk
But
about the bad ex while you're going through good things. You know what I mean? Like,
well, for Sheridan's been in a 9-year relationship, and that, you know, he's her only partner. So, you know, she hasn't had the heartbreak. I had a heartbreak, but I was a teenager. So, like, you know, I don't even really see it as a real thing, especially now as an adult. That time in my life was kind of like, oh, we were just kids. Like, it didn't
try to
mean
push her
anything.
out, man. I try to push her out into the dating pool. She's got to take one for the team, man.
No, one
I
of us
need
has-
some breakups, man. Come
No.
on.
It's not happening. I'm
So
gonna
is
run
the whole
other way.
EP like heartbreak? Like
yeah,
breakup?
so, okay,
and-
well, this will be interesting to see whether or not this lands, but the predicted name and title of the EP is Songs to Break Up To. That's what we're thinking at the moment. We've done no more thinking other than that.
We haven't finished the song, so we want to hear it all together and make sure that it fits. But pretty much every song is essentially goes towards a breakup.
Wow, heavy.
Which, yeah.
Or good, like, is it like Kelly Clarkson, like empowering post breakup,
I
or like
think
all of the
so.
different types?
I think so. I think
It's got a good mixture. Like, the last song on the EP is called Closure, and that closes the book for me anyway.
Yeah,
And when I
for me
listen
too.
from start to finish, it takes you on a journey of whether it be that one relationship or whether it be like all the different facets of a relationship in a I guess in a negative sense, like ones that don't work out or ones that should have worked out that don't work out as well.
I think for us too, a big thing is our songs aren't just based on relationship breakups. It's friends as well.
Yeah.
We always say when we talk about our music that it relates to anybody and everybody, because we've all lost a friend. We've all been in a situation where you've lost someone you've loved or it's ended badly.
Yeah.
We should play the podcast game
Oh.
where I get guests to ask questions. Well, a question for the next guest. So I've got a question for you from my last podcast guest, Tom Waltrich, who's a great drummer.
Hi, Tom.
Is he a musician?
He did. Was that the question or what?
He's a drummer.
That's
The gist of the podcast, Shez.
Is he a real musician?
Yeah.
I was like, didn't you just hear him say that?
Jesus, Sheridan.
Okay, sorry.
She's clearly not listening.
I want to ask this one because it could be controversial somewhat. Do you feel like gigs get in the way of your own musical development? Or do you feel like gigs or playing with other people gets in the way of your own musical development?
Sheridan's going to spiral here. Just so you're all aware, she's going to spiral big time.
I really miss playing live. And I really hope that future Sheridan listening right now is playing so many gigs.
Because this is a conversation we have like
thing.
every second day. We haven't played live in a really long time. And I think with Shez and I, whenever we do something, we focus so hard on one area and then everything else seems to drop off.
A lot hasn't aligned in the past.
Which I personally don't think is a bad thing, because I see it as we're focusing on one area to get really good so that when everything needs to combine, we're going to be really good at combining everything.
I hope that that's how it works, definitely, because that's one thing that, it's been a big discussion. So, for instance, like when we were playing live, we didn't really have like the social media side of things. So we were kind of like playing for what purpose? Like if you really think about your music as a business, and this is where I come back to the business side of it, like your intention of what you're doing it for needs to be there. So like if we were going to be going and touring now, you'd hope you'd be touring an album or an EP or at least a single. Because when you go there, those people want to consume your music, and when they leave, they want to consume your music. If you're not going to leave them with something to consume, what was the point of it? Yes, you might have gotten a follow, but those followers typically don't engage after because they get hidden from your posts. That's one big thing. Like, they say build your following, but then you get like us, 100 and, probably 190,000 right now at the end of 2023, and I would say that we don't actually have access to a lot of those people. Like maybe I couldn't even give you a number. But the views can sometimes be like on an account with that many.
The internet likes to hide
2,000 views. Well, where the hell are the other 140,000
people?
Across all platforms. Yeah. But I would say my answer to that specific question is yes, they can get in the way, because if you don't schedule yourself well enough, you really have to have set times to do certain things. Like if you're going to play a gig on a Saturday, Sunday, or even a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're going to be absolutely stuffed by the time that Monday rolls around, which means
you also need to fit time in for rehearsals and all that stuff, and preparing for the gig and setting up. And
I also think that us musicians are very I can't speak for everyone, but Lauren and I in particular, really hard on ourselves. We are perfectionists. So yes, we invest a lot of time into being ready. We were supposed to play November, but we definitely kind of psyched ourselves out of it.
We didn't necessarily psych ourselves out. It's really difficult to find a venue when you haven't played each show for 12 months.
Oh, well, that's the
venue
thing.
wants to really, take the risk.
Yeah, we've got the follow. This is what I was talking about before. Like we didn't have the physical copies of our EP or whatever it is, music that we want to sell. So it's like it means to no end. But then now we've got a heap of followers, and we had been on a hiatus for 12 to 18 months, and venues are like, when was your last gig? You really reckon you can sell that out? So now that doubt kind of comes creeping into us, and we're like, oh, right. Because I had a lot of confidence when I sent those emails, or when we had our management send those emails, and
we had a lot of interest too. But
we did.
Obviously, for those who don't know, who are listening, who haven't heard from us before, we had a lot of family issues this year with our dad's health, and that really took a toll on us as a family. We nearly lost him, and I think we kind of, and that's why we're not posting too. We took a step back and completely regrouped and took time as a family to work together and get through that time. And obviously, with that, we were offered gig. We were wanting to have a gig, and we were like, well, it's not really as important right now as what our family is.
Yeah, and also trying to prepare to get the EP out and stuff like that. I suppose really going back to that question as well is aligning yourself with your intention is probably my biggest thing. if your intention is to come out with new music and tour, go and tour. If your intention is to tour and you've got no music, you're going to need to go and get the music done. But can you do it simultaneously? I think you probably can.
And also, I think for us too, like, if you want to create content and build a following online, you can create content anywhere.
Yeah.
You can go live on TikTok at a gig.
Yeah.
And that's still, you know, putting yourself out there online while connecting with people in person as well.
Yeah.
And that's something that we really want to end up doing when we do start gigging again.
So the answer to it is yes, it can take away from your music experience, but
How you deal with it.
From a business sense, you just need to make sure that your intention is in the right place.
And
when you're
stay
doing
on
it.
top of your scheduling as well.
Yeah.
Get a plan.
Well, what question would you like to ask? Well, what 2 questions each? 1 question each.
Shit.
What would you like to ask
Putting me on the spot.
the next guest? And I can cut out some thinking time.
There's going to be some thinking time. What is it? 2 hours later. For the next person, has a personal experience ever interrupted your creativity, and how did you get through that time?
Great question, and thanks for sharing your answer too before.
No worries.
Yeah, you guys, like, I find the like the passion you have for things, and also like the practicality of the way you've dealt with it. Like, it's pretty inspiring. You got like so much, you know, passion for so many different like aspects of like the music. It's not just to like be creative, but you love being creative, and it's not just to be like commercially successful, because you also want to make great music. And
the amounts of times
your,
that
lives
we've
and family and
fought with the concept of like, you know, major success versus you know, like more of an indie approach is something I suppose we still battle with, because I think that we know we're capable of really good things. Like, we're both really hard workers, like especially in this industry. Like, you don't have a boss a lot of the times, so you're your own boss, and it's the same as owning a business. Like, I've got friends who own businesses, and we have similar discussions about being disciplined and motivated.
I think
because it's not something that always comes along with what we do.
I think too, for us, like, we grew up not really having many people to talk to about what we're going through on a personal and professional basis. So that's why I think I asked that question, because, you know, there's probably a young person out there who is listening going, I'm going through this, and they probably feel like they're the only person in the world that's going through what they're going through right now and struggling to stay creative and stay motivated. And I know we've dealt with that. We're like, you know, it feels like we're the only 2 people in the world that are going through that. You know, part of being human, I guess, that we just think sometimes that it's only us that are going through that experience. And that's a big thing with us. That's why when we come on something like this, we want to be as open as possible, because you just never know who's listening and who might need that advice.
I wanted to ask about, like, when you're singing, how do you define or decide like who does what role? Like, who's singing the harmony? Who's like...
We're probably the most boring people, because it just happens naturally, honestly.
Yeah, right.
We just kind of go, oh, you sound good singing that part, or you haven't done a first verse for a while. Do you want to take the first one?
Or we write the part and go like, I'm really attached to that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just that. It's a lot of the time really natural. Something that you know, I'm never shy to say is that Lauren is a phenomenally talented person, and she's really, really naturally talented with harmonies. So I tend to take a lot of the main like sections, because her harmonies really what's the word? Not facilitate, but make me sound good and make her sound good at the same time. Whereas sometimes my harmonies can be a little bit, because I've got more of a rocky voice, can sound a little bit more jarring. But that's something I'm working on. I think it's not the question, but one of the best things that Lauren and I have done is continued to increase our capabilities with like guitar and vocals. So we went straight back into vocal lessons and guitar lessons and things like that, and it's the best thing we ever did. But yeah, I'd probably say that it's all really fairly natural.
Yeah, actually, to touch on that going back to lessons for me, I felt like a kid again.
How many years had we been doing music for?
Oh my God, like 15 years or something ridiculous.
I reckon it's probably like 17 years, and we decided to go back to guitar lessons. And I remember it was so weird. That day that we went back to guitar lessons, I saw on my reels, my Instagram reels, a video, and it said on it like, that feeling you get when you do something from your childhood and it brings back nostalgia. And I was like, I was sitting in, because Lauren and I go to I'd gone to the guitar teacher's house to do the lesson. And so when the other one was doing the lesson, the other one was sitting out on the couch. And I was like, how does this come up today? After 17 years of playing guitar, and we come back for our first ever lesson, I get that. And it was literally the feeling that it perfectly encapsulated how I was feeling at the time, because I was like on top of the moon. Like I was like, oh my God, I feel so amazing. I feel reinvigorated.
It's also like we felt really productive while having fun and doing something that didn't take much effort. You know, we drove there, we did the lesson, we had a great time. Our guitar teacher had a really good time as well, because he was used to teaching kids. So he's like, this is so cool. I swear.
I said so many F words.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, I'm so not used to this. And we're like, yeah, boy, like it's so cool. And then, yeah, so like I think for us, like just bringing back that fun. And for people our age, like, you know, we're Gen Z, so but even for the millennials, like we are so based off nostalgia because we live in such a crazy, serious world and everything's thrown in our faces all the time, that whenever anything's nostalgic, we grab onto that and we try to enthrall ourselves with that because it makes us feel good. So for us to have done that and been able to do it with our music was a really big deal for us at that time.
Yeah.
All right, we should finish with the 5 quick fire questions.
Ooh.
I know it's been a little while since you've played a gig.
Yes.
But what's your favourite venue to play in Melbourne?
Love the Corner Hotel.
Yeah, that's been the coolest by far.
Yeah.
What would be your dream venue to play?
Probably at the moment Sydney Myer Music Bowl.
Ooh.
But like if we're talking anywhere in the world, I don't know, Lauren.
Well, I think for me, Melbourne, Sydney Myer and Rod Laver are like the dream. I think anyone who lives in Melbourne, like I know the Pierce brothers just played at Rod Laver and they were like crying because it's such a big deal because they're from Melbourne. So definitely for Melbourne, that would be a big one.
I mean, Madison Square Garden.
I mean,
good.
like
Yeah.
I think for me, like watching, you know, Justin Bieber play MSG was like huge, and like hearing about, you know, Harry Styles did like however many nights there.
Yeah.
And so that's, even the Forum in LA is really cool as well. But yeah, they're the
Supposed to be rapid questions and we're just plovering.
No, it's great. What is your coffee order?
Oh, Lauren?
I don't drink coffee.
Mine's an iced latte with hazelnut.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're the first like hazelnut character.
Yeah, but half a shot of hazelnut. I'm not too sweet.
This feels very American to like have
Look at me go.
a flavor in the
Look at me
coffee.
go. No, I'm just like, you know how you admit that you're really not that much of a coffee lover, but you just drink it because everyone else does. It's probably a little bit me.
Right.
Yeah, do love it, and I know that Melbourne has the best coffee because I
I'd rather-
know that for certain.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's
we've
it.
been all around the world.
I feel so like un-Melburnian because I don't drink coffee. I don't like it.
It's totally fine. The same as me.
I don't like the smell of it. Like, yeah, it's just not for me.
What is your beverage of choice?
It changes. But like, I don't drink alcohol either, thanks to the gut health issues. So on a night out, I'll have a glass of pineapple juice up to 3/4 and then a quarter of lemonade.
Oh.
And that is like having a
It's
cocktail.
really yummy.
Favorite place to get food after a gig in Melbourne?
Topolino's.
Oh, that's a good one.
Topolino's, we used to go there after heaps of gigs. Our dad used to
Yeah.
love it.
I'd say for gigs, definitely Topos.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like a tradition. Our uncle did that too after his gigs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, final question. What is one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
We're going to go deep here.
Something that I feel like I'm continuing to battle with is the concept of growth. Feeling like time doesn't really necessarily feel the way it's portrayed. Like 365 days a year sounds like a lot, but this particular year has absolutely just flashed in front of our eyes. So I would probably try and remind myself that if it doesn't necessarily feel like you're growing, plants take a long time to grow too. Like if you think of yourself like that, like you're planting the seed, and then it takes rain and it takes sun and it takes all those things, even just for it to grow a centimeter. So like just give yourself some time to grow, and yeah, just know you're in that phase. It doesn't always have to be fruit season.
Great advice.
Honestly, for me, I had a really tough time through my teen years, so I'd probably give my advice to her. I think I'd say what you're feeling is valid, but you need to move through it, and everything will be okay. It's not the end of the world. You'll get through.
Thanks so much for like sharing so many different things with me on the podcast. Like I feel like you said, we've gotten kind of deep on a few different things, and you've both been like so like honest and authentic, and it's really special just to be able to like get to know your story and like I don't know, hear about all the different experiences and thought processes and things you've worked through. And like it's really exciting to know that next year at some stage there's going to be some music coming out, and hopefully we can like celebrate the whole EP, and yeah, like you say, have people go and see you play live as well as buying the record. It's pretty exciting to see like, you know, what you've built in terms of like the focused effort into your like social media stuff, and you know, you've got such a long history of music making. Like it's exciting to see where this next step goes for you too.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I feel like when it comes to transparency, it's really easy for Lauren and I to be transparent just because we've had a lot of things happen to us in the past, but also because we do have a social media presence. And of course, there's some things that we're going to keep private, but there's a lot that we want to share because like Lauren said, a lot of people feel like they're alone in their struggles, and we've had a lot of struggles and we've had a lot of highs. So there's no point in us coming and being like it's all dandy lines and bloody rainbows. Like
it's not real life.
Sometimes there's a little bit of storms, but sometimes again, storms come so that it can rain down on you and you can grow. Like I'm really into that whole concept at the moment, but it's also a lot easier when you have a really bloody brilliant host who makes you feel comfortable, gives you cookies,
I think
and a beautiful space.
I think for us to be able to walk into a room and feel comfortable with someone is really important to us as people, and you have been nothing but wonderful. And
yeah,
I mean,
you so much.
You made us freaking cookies, so you win. Like
You're
seriously.
both very kind. Thanks. Was there anything that I didn't touch on that you wanted to share for all of your, you know, music fans and new people who have been following our podcast?
I would say if you're listening to this podcast right now, jump across to our Spotify and listen to our music, and just know that there's going to be a lot more that's coming out if there's not already.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us on Our Drummers Musicians. I hope you enjoyed diving into the world of another musician as much as I did. Help us grow by leaving a review and sharing the podcast with your friends, family, favorite artist, or anyone else who might enjoy it. For more info and updates, visit ourdrummersmusicians.com. See you next time.